Excellent stuff, Carly. For more on ASU baseball, we bring in WCSN analyst Alex Gaul. And Alex, it's well documented at this point that it's been an up and down season for ASU baseball. But if you were to find some consistency, especially on this pitching staff, where would you look for it?
I mean, I think if you're looking at the pitching staff, the only remotely consistent piece for ASU has been senior Eli Lingos. The lefty has been a really good force in the pitching rotation for ASU. You look here against Washington State, a 1-2 count. You see a lot of pitchers here waste a pitch, but Eli Lingos goes right after him. He's going to go for the slider on the outside corner, and he locates it very well, and it goes right into the strike zone. Gets a lot of ground ball outs, a PFP right there, makes a nice throw over to first. The other thing he does really well is he can locate his fastball. Doesn't have the stuff of Void Vanderkoy, who sits in the low 90s. He sits in the low 80s with his fastball. He's got to be really sharp with it because he can't blow hitters away. Bam, right on the mount, right on the mitt right there of Lyle Lynn. And when you can do that and locate your fastball, you can get a 2.02 ERA. That's 8th among Pac-12 starting pitchers this season. So that's really what Eli Lingos has done for this staff this season. Yeah, definitely a guy that has thrived since moving into that Sunday starter role. And so flipping the script now to the offensive side, it's been an up and down season for them. But if you were to name a team MVP thus far, who would it be? I mean, you have to mention Gage Canning, and he's obviously been so good for ASU this season on the hitting side, but everybody was surprised by Spencer Torkelson. And you look at this guy, as a freshman, he's already broken Barry Bonds' freshman home run record with this one right here at Washington State. That was his 12th of the season. He now has 14, which is tied for the lead in the NCAA college baseball world right now. And let's look at this swing. Right there, eyes on the ball. The other thing, he stays closed. A lot of young hitters today will try and pull that ball to right field, open up a bit too early. Torkelson stays closed, and that's why he has such good power to center and right field. Yeah, you look at a guy like Torkelson blowing a lot of expectations out of the water. One of the best stories in college baseball on the young season thus far. And if you look at this ASU team, there is a lot of talent there with guys like Torkelson, Gage Canning, like you mentioned, but the success on the field hasn't necessarily been there. So why do you think that disparity is there? I mean, I think you could say this about a lot of ASU athletic programs. They're just a very young team. They've got something like 5 or 6 people that are underclassmen, and they're starting right now for the team. And you look at some of their recent losses. For their last 5 games, they've lost. All 4 of those losses are by 1 run, and they lost 3 times by walk-off. They gave up 5 runs in the 9th inning. So it's really just been a factor of not being able to close out teams late with their bullpen and not being able to string clutch hits together. Yeah, baseball is tough that way. Sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way, but excellent work, Alex, as always. For more on his work and the rest of our WCSN baseball coverage team, check out CronkiteSports.com. Spring football is wrapping up for ASU. First-year head coach Herm Edwards decided to light a fire underneath his team by announcing that he wouldn't hesitate to cut anyone, including scholarship players, if they don't meet his expectations. WCSN's Alex Gaul went out to practice this week to get the reaction from the team.
But then, when Herm and all the coaches say, like, yo, listen, like, we're gonna start pulling people from practice or anything like that, then people start getting, chippy, and then, better practices come. So I play no excuses no matter what. I'm out there. I think I'm the worst corner, so I feel like I need to, prove myself, even though, like, I'm a starter and all that stuff. So I feel like I bring it every day, and I feel like that's the competition that everybody should be at on a daily basis.
I mean, that wasn't the case. It's not about not playing scholarship players. He's handling he's a head coach. He calls it how he calls it. I don't have no take on it. It's on him. Yeah, he's a head coach. I think we still kept it going the same. I mean, nobody's rattled by anything. We just keep our mindset. The main thing, when we get on the field, we're only focused on one thing, is our team and our defense and stuff like that. We're not focused on any outside stimulus.
The good thing is we're not taking a scholarship away from anybody. No kid on this football team is going to lose their scholarship. Every year in every program, coaches evaluate the kids, and kids that fit into your scheme and kids that you recruit. Some of them work out, and there's kids sometimes they just don't fit into your scheme or what you're doing, and you have conversations with them every spring. You tell them, look, you're probably not going to play in our program, but we have enough connections on this coaching staff and throughout that any kid that really loves the game of football that wants to play, we'll find them a place. And there's plenty of schools out there that'll take kids that may not fit into what we're doing. Everybody around here sees what we're doing. They're buying into where we're taking the program and the direction we're going. There's some kids that just don't fit in.
No, it wasn't blown out of proportion. I mean, it is what it is. He's the head man in charge. He's the head honcho, so whatever he says is going to go. You can take it how you want to take it. Some guys might have felt like, oh, urgency, or most guys might not have. Me, I'm just keep my head down and keep working. Whatever happens, happens.